Hello my dear friends, welcome back to the channel. In this video I want to share with you a book review, and the book that we will be discussing today is called The Secrets of a Lifetime by Basil Crouch. This book was the first book that brought me to the path of practicing magic. Like I said many times in the past, Think and Grow Rich was the first book that taught me about the power of the mind. But the book that convinced me, so to speak, to practice the magical occult arts was actually The Secrets of a Lifetime by Basil Crouch, or Lacra, or Scorpio, or Red Spider, or Nathaniel. I've heard that this guy had many pen names. Anyway, when I first stumbled upon The Secrets of a Lifetime by Basil Crouch, it was during a phase in my life when I was reading a bunch of books from a website called darkbooks.org. I think I got this book from there in PDF format, but I also remember that there were other websites that I read, so I don't know, I think that I got it from there. Anyway, most of the books that I found on that website were very intriguing, but I think they failed to spark my interest in actually practicing anything. That is, until The Secrets of a Lifetime caught my attention. You see, something about it felt accessible, grounded, and refreshingly normal compared to the other texts that I come across. Unlike many other books in the occult genre, The Secrets of a Lifetime stands out for its straightforward approach. The instructions are simple, deceptively simple, and the tone of the book is still to this day, I find it motivating. Whenever I grab this book, I'm just ready to go. I don't know why, but yeah. But what I liked about this book is that it's not cloaked in layers of mysticism. That simplicity is what made it so appealing to me in the beginning stages of my journey. So I remember practicing one of the meditations from this book during my lunch break at my first job, and I wanted to get a package. Yeah, I had a delivery package scheduled to arrive in a few days, and I thought, why not give this a try to make this package arrive earlier? And to my surprise, the package actually arrived way earlier. So that small success had me hooked. I tried another exercise, a simple visualization to influence the price of some cosmetics that I wanted, because back in the day I was not so financially blessed and I struggled. And I found myself stumbling upon a sale for cosmetics at half the price after a few days after I did that particular meditation. So, yep. And these small wins felt too consistent to just brush them off as mere coincidence, and they made me genuinely to believe that this book was actually onto something. You see, the book focuses heavily on visualization and the power of the mentative mind, and mentation is called. And its methods are not about grandiose rituals or elaborate setups, but instead you just use the power of the mind. Now let's get into the actual content of the book. So the author's story begins with a recount of extreme poverty, struggling to pay the rent, living in a cold home, and walking to a poorly paid job in the winter. And despite these hardships, the author basically says that he liked all his life books, but at that period he was reading by the candlelight in the darkness of his home after his landlord cut off his gas because he was always late with the payment of his rent. The turning point comes for Basil during one of these visits at a bookshop which is owned by an old woman. And this elderly bookshop owner decides to close her shop because she is too old for this and offers our author all the books in exchange for cleaning out the shop. And among the books that he took from the shop, the author basically discovers a tale about an old Joe, and this particular book sparks his curiosity basically. But as he reads that particular book, the book teaches him about the power of the mind and meditation. And of course, because of this discovery and the impact that this information had on his life, the author decides to create The Secrets of a Lifetime, presenting the idea that this book, The Secrets of a Lifetime, is actually an adaptation of that old Joe story. Overall, I think it's a good book. It's not a masterpiece by any means, and honestly, I think that this author, through this book, just wanted to appeal to certain people who were into the power of the mind, visualization, and this is his most actual normal book of all. And that's what actually attracted me as well to this material. I am not about using tools, and this book felt like the more normal one, I guess. Anyway, that being said, I want you to know that if you decide actually to look into this book, I don't own actually a physical copy. I have it in PDF for many years now. But again, that being said, Basil Crouch's reputation as an author is complicated to say the least. You see, after reading The Secrets of a Lifetime, I dove into some of his other works, thinking that they will be on the same note and style, and you see, they left me bewildered and shocked and actually disgusted. And not to mention a ton of mistakes that this author did in terms of writing, of information, and yeah. To conclude on this author reputation and everything, I would just say that I couldn't connect with his other works. I actually find them very disturbing, and often the other books actually feel like the ramblings of someone deeply ingrained in a world far removed from reality. The guy actually seemed delusional, to say the least. But anyway, despite my reservation about Crouch's other books, The Secret of a Lifetime, I think it's a good, practical, old book from Finbarr. And back in the day, in my 20s, like I said, that's when I discovered this book. I thought that this is the best thing out there because I didn't know any better. But I would say it's a decent book from the 80s that brings nostalgia to me every time I read it because that's where I started. So yeah, basically I'm forever grateful that this book crossed my path. Otherwise, maybe I would be on another path now. So that's my book review for today. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.